Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back. And today we're going to really get going on starting to decorate this Christmas accordion journal that I started making last week. And I've had a rethink about how I'm going to do the cover. I'm not going to use the Roxy Creations papers on the cover. I will use some of them in the book because looking back, I think I used some of their papers in almost all my Christmas journals, it seems. But I do think I want to actually use some of the papers, some of the journal pages from the Nostalgic Noel kit. And I don't think I've actually shown you those pages because I think I only fairly recently printed them, and I printed them on the back. Or not that I'm actually going to need them printed on the backs, but I didn't know when I did it what I was going to do as far as the journal. But I thought I'd just show you these quickly because I will be using some of them, not all of them. So we have this one, and they all have coordinated backing with them in the kit. So this one, so if you can see, it's the same pattern on the back, which is rather nice how she's done that. And the same with this. So this is another page, and again, the backing is the same on the back. So that's that one. This one, they're kind of different styles, some of them. These are sort of goldeny, warm, different sort of colours, and they are rather lovely. And that's on the back of that. And I think they're lovely. I'm not going to use all of these, but I will be using them here and there in the journal. It's a really pretty one with a sort of more of a aqua background. It's ever so pretty and quite lacy. She's really lovely. I like that one. I like them all really, but I'm not going to use them all. And again, those sort of aqua-y colours in the background, they're gorgeous. And there's good old Santa. It's a lovely picture of Santa, I love that. And then on the back is this pattern. As you can see, again, it is the same pattern to back it. Then we have these, back to the more golden sort of colours. And then this one is like outside and inside of a church. So yeah, they're lovely papers. And I've been having a think about what I want to do on my cover, because I'm going to concentrate on the cover today. Whether I'll get any further into the book than that, I really don't know. I doubt it, knowing me, because of what I want to do. So I've been having a look at these and deciding which ones I want to actually be on the cover, or which one I chose. And I'm actually going to kind of use a combination of two. And I think what I really want to do, where is he? I do love Santa on the cover of my journals. It's Christmas. Why wouldn't you have Santa on the cover? So I think, I want to do that. And so I think we'll start with, I'll just cut him down, have him ready to go on there, but I'm going to put something over the top, and I'll show you what I have in mind, just because there was a couple of pages that are rather light, so I had an idea. So let me just mark where. So I'm just been trying to decide. I think I will keep the edges straight on this piece and just cut it down about here. And just pull in my trimmer. So I hope you're all well. We're all well here. This is my second video of the day. So I did my autumn journal video this morning. Don't very often get to do 2 videos in one day, but I'm taking advantage of the fact that I've got the place to myself today. Although I have got some household jobs awaiting me downstairs, so I will get to those hopefully when I've done this, if I try not to take too long over this. So that on there, I'm going to just do a little bit of inking around the edge because I quite like that, just to frame it out, I think, just with the vintage photo. Although I am very tempted, I'm seriously thinking of, maybe I'll leave, oh no, I can't leave it because I'm going to stick it on. I was thinking I might quite like the aged mahogany that I know Gail uses a lot of in her Christmas journals. And I looked at it, it's quite expensive. These distress inks and oxides are quite expensive to buy. And I think, do I really need another one? No, I'm not sure. I've got it in my Amazon basket and I'm considering whether I really want to pay the money for it. But I thought, well, I'm not going to let it hold me up. Okay, so that is going to go on here. Just going to try and make sure I get it even all the way around. I know that's going to be a challenge for me, getting it on getting it on straight. But he's gorgeous, so I want him there. But I also liked this one with the door, the front door. I don't know, there was something about it I really like, and I thought maybe it'd be quite nice to have this sort of opening up. Have a kind of effect of this is a sort of topper, have it opening up to reveal Santa behind. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to trim this off. Where's my, oh, right in front of me, of course. I'm going to trim this off. I'm not measuring this because I'm going to have to cut it down anyway. I'm just taking the piece off. So I don't want it any, certainly won't need it to be any bigger than the other piece. I'm going to cut it about here, and I will probably have to cut it down a bit more, and I will show you what I have in mind to do with this. So now I can put all these pieces aside. So I've got this piece, it's just a piece of, I don't know, it's like a junk mail. But it's really thick, so it's very sturdy, and I thought it would make quite a... My idea is of having this over the top, cutting it down, and having it open out as a sort of... and having it with an eyelet here, and have it so that it will work as a closure as well. That's my idea, but I think this is too big, so I'm going to cut it down. Pencil, where'd it go? There it is. Want to show, I want it to be about, I want it to cover Santa. So is that going to be about the right size? That's about the right size. Let's see if that's going to be big enough. Yes, I think that's about right. So I'm going to cut that down that way. And what about the width? I guess I better make it about the same width as my door. I'll have to cut it from the bottom so I can mark it, because I won't be able to see my mark if I do it at the top where it's darker. Push that to one side, line it up. So, got to allow a bit. I need to allow a bit because I think I might hinge it. So I'm going to cut it to about there, I think. It may need further trimming, I'm not sure yet quite how it'll work out. So I have got this, I'll line it up there, and I need to I want it. I'm going to cut a bit off the bottom. Now I'm going to cut it at the top to where the top of the top of that arch garland sort of bit is. There. And just a little bit off the bottom as well. Turn that over, line it up. Okay. Trim that down. Okay. So if that has got to be. Just want to try and make sure it's lined up. I trim it to the right width. Trim it over that way. Actually, I want to allow a little bit more on this side because it might well fold under. So I might just have to trim this afterwards. Yeah. Where will I want it to fold? I'm going to give it about 1/2 inch so that I can hinge it. That's the idea. So I will trim this off after, I think. Yeah. I think that is about 1/2 inch to the beginning of the garland. Let's just have a little measure here. Yeah, that'll be all right, I think. So I'm going to glue that on here. I'm going to use my big bottle of tacky glue because it'll be easy to do it on a larger surface. Now I want to score it now. Score it at 1/2 inch. Actually, before I score it, no, I'm not going to score it yet. I'm going to cover the back because otherwise it'd be harder to do once it's been scored, won't it? And it will show. That's why I wanted to cover that next. Okay, so I've just got. I was going to originally, but where are we? I was going to cover it with the piece of paper that goes with this, the back of the other side, with the old charabanc on. But I'm kind of thinking I might like that for the back cover. Not sure yet, but I don't want to burn my bridges, if you like. So I'm going to hang on to that piece. And instead, I think I'll use, not that piece, one of these, the back of this, which is quite similar. It's got the holly, so I think that would work quite well on the back. And I'm less likely to use this page, I think. So I'm going to glue that onto here. And then we will do our scoring. Okay, let's get this piece on here. So make sure we can line that up. Something's not quite straight, so I'm just going to make sure that's lined up at the side and give myself a bit of room to trim it. case something's not straight. As long as it's on. Right, that's glued on. I think that's okay. I want to round the corners, I think. Let's hope it'll let me, because it's obviously quite wet at the moment. Yep. Oh. Okay, and I think I'll round these top two as well, even though it's going to be not that way. That one. It's going to be folded under, but I still think it would look nicer if it's got rounded corners. Oh gosh, that's quite thick. Let us now attempt to score this. So hold it up to there and score it at something not quite right up here. I think it's just a bit of paper that's not quite flush. Better. Okay, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. Hope that's enough. Just wondering if it could do with being scored and just giving it a little bit more. How does that look? Maybe I'll make it 3/4 inch just to make sure it's well anchored, as it's quite a heavy piece. I think I'll do 3/4 inch. Or maybe, so that's half, that's one mark over the half. 3/4 might cut off too much of the garland. Yeah, maybe I'll just do it just one over the half. Let's hope that's going to be enough. Twists as I get to the bottom. Okay, let's see. Can we now attempt to fold that, even though it's quite wet? No, it's going to tear because it's wet. No, that wasn't a good idea. Okay, I may have to put something around that. Okay, I'm going to have to wait to get that finished until that's dry, because that is tearing as I'm folding it. So I'm going to leave that up there. We have to come back to that next week and finish that off. But you can see what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so at the moment, whoops, this is all unravelling. At the moment we've got this on the front. I will probably add some trimmings and maybe further decoration or something. I'm just thinking, is it too soon to just glue it down? I think I do need to glue it down. I will. I'm going to glue him down. This doesn't have to be super complicated. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the same glue to put that on. Okay. Right, the theory is using this glue gives me a little bit of wriggle room, but of course when it's wet it doesn't always want to do what you want it to do. And you're going to go down straight. That's not quite straight, is it? No, it's not straight. A little bit away from that edge. Okay, I think that will be okay. Because definitely will be putting some sort of trim down that edge, so if it's not perfectly straight, it won't show. Okay, so we have our cover piece started. So as I can't continue, so the idea is that that will go cover there and then it'll open up to reveal his nibs. So if I can't make that work, I will use a piece of fabric instead as my hinge. That will be my other option. I might cut this piece off or cut it down and then hinge it with some beautiful fabric. That might even be a better option. I may well do. I do have some Roxy Creations fabric and many others. Many other pieces of lovely fabric, Christmas fabric, so that might be my favoured option in the end. So we'll see. When that dries, I'll see how it goes. So I'm going to leave that as it is for now, because I thought maybe it would be quite nice to start actually covering some of these pages and getting them decorated. So let us look at and now would be a good time to look at some Roxy Creations paper, and I think I will probably do more of a backing paper on one side and maybe something a bit more decorative on the other. I've got all my Roxy Creations paper in here, so I've still got loads of papers from the old kits which I still love, so who knows, they may pop up, but obviously this is quite a small journal really for me. It is quite small, so at the moment I am seriously considering making another one because I've got so many gorgeous papers. It'd be a shame not to use them and have a second one knocking around. So one of these backing papers, I think, on the first page. I do rather like that. I do like that. So I think we're going to where did my pencil go? It's always my cry. Where's my pencil gone? It rolls, it disappears. I definitely had one, didn't I? I'm sure I did. Here it is. So it's either this page, I also like this one, with Santas across the top, little Santa faces. I kind of like that. Yeah, maybe I'll put that one on there. So, just trying to decide how am I going to tear it. I don't know whether to have it straight or have a more of a rough edge. So I won't be able to, if I start tearing the edges off to make it to use my my terror with a slightly jagged edge, actually not going to, it won't fit. So I think I'll keep it straight to make sure everything fits. Actually, I can probably bring it in to about there, I would say. Stuck to the blade. Okay, put that one on there, like that. Yes, I will. Gonna go. Okay. Just wipe this off as I go, because I don't know if it peels off as well as the fabric glue does. Get that off. Okay, I don't want too much of the red showing, so I'm just going to take it quite near the edge on this side. Can you hear the kids outside? It's that time of day again. School chucking out time. A little bit wrinkly. Hopefully it'll dry. When it dries, it'll smooth out a bit. It does make the paper quite wet doing this, unfortunately. But then I don't know if there's any glue that doesn't when you're trying to cover the whole thing. Okay. Just one piece on. And so what do we put on this side? I may well put some washi tape or something along this edge. Don't necessarily want the brown showing. I mean, it doesn't matter really, but I probably will put something along here. What can we put on the other side? What would I like to see when I open it up? Ooh, we've got a bit of, even with all my careful scraping, I've still got a little bit of paper that's not quite caught. So I shall use my art glitter glue. Sure it is. Okay, so I'm thinking, I don't know which one of these I want. I like that. It's a really nice one. These guys are dead sweet. Quite like that. I'm not sure about this one so much. Oops, not those. Getting my backing papers and my journal pages mixed up here. Here we are. These are the journal pages. Well, she was the one I was very tempted to put on the cover, wasn't she? So maybe I'll put her on the front, on the first page, because I like her. And I love this bit down the middle. Hope I can get at least some of it on. Right, so I am going to tear down the side here with my tear ruler, this tear ruler, just to get that slightly jagged edge. And it doesn't look like it's printed completely straight, so I'm just going to try and straighten that up. I might just take that off the green. Take it there, I think. Don't go crooked on me. Okay, it's torn reasonably straight. And then so now I've got the book page here. I don't have to worry too much about how much is showing on the edge, because I like the book page. At the same time, I do want some of this. I may have to tear a bit more off this edge. I do want to keep some of this, because I think it's very pretty. Let's do that. I'm going to take a bit more off this side, just a touch. I don't think it's entirely straight anyway. Are we surprised? No, we're not. Hope. Just double check that I'm not cutting this too short now. No, I'm alright. I think I can take a little more off that edge. Alright, let's see how that looks on here. So yes, I'm liking that. Do I want to take any off the top? in the bottom. I think possibly I do, because the cover was slightly bigger, wasn't it? Which means I can do a little bit of that edge, top and bottom as well. Don't really want to lose the green, but there is only a tiny bit of green at the bottom, so I may well have to sacrifice it. Flatten that out just to see how it'll look. I made these folds so sharp now that they won't actually flatten, which is okay. Okay, I'm going to, that's going to be alright, I think. I will fold it back up again though, because otherwise it will not lay flat. Let's ink around these. Alright, I might just see if I get on any better with using glue stick. That's the word, glue stick, to glue this next one on. Just see which one works best. I always find gluing large pieces is always a bit challenging. Okay, make sure I don't get too close to the bend. We'll join. No, good. All good. Okay, I've got it quite near the top here. In fact, I've probably got it too near, have I? It's got it going over the edge. Not quite. Because I thought if there's a bit showing at the bottom, I'll probably put something down there anyway. A bit of lace, bit of trim, or even a pocket. So I've got more showing at the bottom and not much at the top as far as the brown goes. So I think that works all right for me. I have got this lovely bit down the edge, which I'm happy about. And yeah, that's gone on quite nicely actually. Oh, by the way, one of you lovely ladies did ask me about the journal I showed you, that the Moroccan journal, or the finished accordion journal that I was just showing you in the last video. So if you haven't been with me for very long, you might not have seen me making that one, which I made earlier in the year. And it's in the playlist for Moroccan journals, because I made 3 under that title. They've all ended up totally different. And that was the 3rd one I made. And it's subtitled Moon Goddess, because she kind of took over the journal, did Serena. I can't do it with those scissors. Did I have the others out? So yeah, so that was the one I was sort of kept flashing in front of you to show how they can end up. It was my 3rd Moroccan journal, and I think I made a woodland fairies accordion journal last year, so that'll come under that. I think each time they've been a bit different and I've done it differently, so these things always evolve, don't they? but the basis is still the same. So already we are starting to look quite Christmassy. I'm just wondering if I've got anything I can add to here before we even go any further. I've got a few pieces already made. Rather than just spending the whole video just sticking bits of paper on, maybe I'll add a pocket as I go. I'm not sure, or whether I need to make something and plan it next time. I've only got a handful here of things that I've already made using the Nostalgic Noel kit. And this is one of them. This is a little journal piece that I did with Roxy Creations. And actually, I'm already thinking, kind of like it. Is that going to go well there? The little Santas at the top. Could be a tuck here. I might just pull it over a little bit so that the lace doesn't catch. So that could go quite nicely on here. Couldn't it? Yes, it could. I think it could. I'm loath to commit this soon. I also have this piece, but no, not that. Well, I have a few pieces here, not a lot. Most of them are kind of more journal cardy. Got one little pocket, maybe that would be a good opening piece. Little pocket there. Yeah, maybe that would be a good starting point. Like that. I'm beginning to wonder if I put the pom-pom trim on back to front, and I think I may well have done. I think I may have put it on back to front looking at it now, but never mind. I might just have to bring it down so it just pokes down a bit below the pages, like that. Okay, I'm going to put this on here because I quite like it there. I don't know if I've got anything to go in it. I haven't got many, so I haven't got much made yet. This is from the 50 stack challenge, and already I'm being able to use it. Let's just see how that looks. You can actually see the pom-pom the right way around. I'll pull it down just a little bit more. Hope it's still on there. Just about still on the... Don't want the actual pocket to poke down below, do I? Yeah, okay. That's on there now. So yes, there's going to be lots more to make as far as ephemera goes, although I may look in some of my old stash, use some things that I've made before. This isn't sticking. Probably didn't stick it down quickly enough. Okay, let's try that. This is quite thick, this pocket, because I used a piece of masterboard that was backed and thicker than it needed to be, really. Never mind. This is where I used the tissue paper. And I do have this piece that was cut off from one of the pieces I was making, and it looked, I thought, oh, that'd make a nice tag. It's not finished, but could it go in here? Oh, it could go in there, couldn't it? Yes, how am I doing for time? Maybe I could just quickly finish that. I'll back it. Just quickly back it and finish it off. Right, I was going to use some of the green straw paper, but I decided with the blue it didn't really go very well, so I'm going to use this straw paper. And I'm just going to glue it on. Hang on, I'll use a long piece. Glue that onto the straw paper and we'll make that a tag. Right, we'll just give it a nice tag shape. Give it some ink. Oh, I might just do these corners, the little corners. Better. For some reason the kids love to shout at each other across the street on their way home. These are the ones I've just got off the bus. And they do this every day. They walk home along the opposite sides of the street and shout across the street at each other. You probably hear them. Right, so that's all inked and done the corners and everything. Now I would like to, I think, use my, I call it Euro punch. Just do that. Try and get it kind of central as best I can. Good, good. Sometimes things go right. Add a little ink around there. And then I've got a couple of bits of ribbony stuff that I thought might go through. It's possibly a bit narrow. Not sure about that one. I have actually got this is just a scrap of gold, but I thought, well, actually this looks like a gold ribbon here, and this is a bit wider, so maybe this would work quite well. If I were to just do that. Do that. I quite like that. Let's see. I think I might be able to staple that into place. Let's try. I'm wondering if these staples are actually a bit small. These are going to be a bit small for this, so I might just get my bigger stapler out. This will probably work better, even though I haven't got gold staples, unfortunately, so we'll just have to do with what's in there. Yeah. Yep, I'm happy with that. And actually I find that stapler much easier to use than the Tim Holtz one. But that's just me. Let's see. Let's put it in its pocket. There may be something else that needs to go in here. Well, I thought, well, as I had this piece, and it was a scrap from making something else, but I really like that bit. So that can go there. That works really nicely there. So we've made a good start. And I need to make some more things, of course, but yeah, getting there. I'm thinking do I want to put something down here? I think I might. Ooh. I've got some Christmas washies here. Just wondering which one would work nicely along there. This one. No. Yeah. Okay. So there's the fold. So will I go over the fold? I think I won't go over the fold. I'll go up to it. How's that look? Does that work? Do I take it over the fold a little bit and join the two sides together? Changing my mind now. I've had another thought. I've got this lovely washi tape. I know this is gilding the lily a bit now. But I'm thinking I might like that better. I think I do. Doesn't mean I won't use the other one. I'll just have to find a way to store it. Okay. And then I'll let that dry before I fold it up again. Okay. I need it to be straight, otherwise it won't work very well. Right, so that's now got a nice bit to pull the two sides together, so it looks less, I don't know, not a big fan of the brown, let's put it that way. I like to cover it up. For something like this, brown and Christmas don't compute to me. So we've got this done, and I think it should be alright to fold it, and we've got the front cover started. I have got this piece which I'm going to have as a flip out. I shall put a pocket on this, we'll do this next time, and I'm still not quite sure whether I'm going to use some fabric to hinge it. I might use fabric to hinge it just because that would look nice, but I will decide before next week what I'm going to do. So I'll see you then. Thank you for joining me today. I have had lots of fun doing this. I'm going to really enjoy this journal, I think. I hope you will too. And yeah, join me for the next one. Bye for now.